Good morning. So, this morning I feel like I can take a breath. So, we've had some big deals going on at the office. And then we had everybody come in from around the country to the office. And we had our office parties and our office gatherings. And I've had zero sleep. So, I felt like last night I got a little bit of sleep. And now that pretty much all that is done, maybe I can get back to my regular routine. So, I hope everybody slept well last night. And if it's the middle of your day, I hope you're having a good day. So here we are, getting a chance to breathe. Remembering to breathe. Letting our shoulders relax. Work the stiffness out of our necks. And see what the universe might have for us. Good morning, Maureen. So, man. So I need about 2 or 3 more nights of 8 hours sleep, and I will feel like normal again. So, what does the universe have for us today? That's the question. So I had pulled out one deck of cards, and I was checking them out, and it's like every time I flipped one card over, it was reversed. It's a deck that I've been using this week. And every time I would flip a card over, and then it's like I check and see, and it's like, yeah, it's 50-50. It's like, you know what? I need to pull out another deck. Maybe that's the hint. So I've got my 20-something-year-old deck out here, just because I think the universe may be trying to tell me something. So, what does the universe have for us today? Let's see if there's anything we need to review. Let's take a look at our daily inventory so that when we are wrong, we can promptly admit it. So that we can see any triggers that might pop up, and most importantly, see what we need to do to make the world just a little bit better of a place. You know, it just kind of reminds me, I look at the politics and it's like, why are you doing that? You know, you're a rational human being, and people will say, yeah, but everybody else is doing it. It's like, that's not rational. It's not a reason. That is what a 6-year-old says. So, here is our stack. I still look at this stack, by the way, and it's from the 1970s. I look at the back of these cards, and it just, every time I see them, it just makes me laugh because I put these cards away for so long because they didn't have the cool backs. Good morning. How are you, Eleanor? So, but now I think the backs are cool. They're retro, so I like the retro back. So here is our 3 stacks, each one a thread going out to the universe. We're going to pull on one of these threads to see if there's anything we need to know, to understand. This is where part of that insight comes in. Making a decision for ourselves where we want to go. And since today's Wednesday, I kind of like to look at right here in the middle. I like to look at the heart of things, since we're in the middle of the week. Today's not Wednesday, is it? Like I say, all weekend long, we've been having an office party that's lasted pretty much a week. So my day is so thrown off. But let's see where we're at today. Get that extra breath in. So, told you I like this deck. Having a deck for 20 years must do something. And we're starting right off with reaping what we sow. So Judgment. Really takes us back here to analyze where we're coming from. And without even flipping any other cards over, when I see this card, it really does make me reflect back and makes me ask, what have I been doing? And if I was to be sat down and judged for my actions right now in this life, what would the results be? And then the next question is, well, what can I do today to change those results? Wow. And there's the answer. Temperance. So what do I need to do if I was to look back and change those results? We're looking at the balance. We're looking at seeing what might be out of balance, what might be throwing us off. Taking responsibility for our actions instead of being children and saying, yeah, but everybody else is doing this. In case anybody missed that first part of the conversation. And it's about being willing to sacrifice. So, when I was going to my boss's house, I had missed the turn. And again, I'll say that there are no, there are no accidents. Things happen for a reason. And on the bridge where I had to do a turnaround, somebody had hung a sign. There was somebody in a pickup and somebody in a tow truck. They were sitting out there in beach chairs, laughing. It was a vulgar pro-Trump sign that they hung from the bridge. And all I could think of is, what if my daughter was to see that? Because it was vulgar. So that is kind of what was weighing on my mind this morning. And to have these cards pop up like this: Judgment, Temperance, and the Hanged Man. Three majors like this. Three Destiny cards. It really does just put weight to what I was thinking about this morning. It was really upsetting. It really, You know, because especially how smug they looked sitting there. And I went through my mind thinking 1,000 things about their personalities, their intelligence level, their lack of awareness. And so the King of Swords can be petty. So let's take a look at this for a second. Let's move past what I'm feeling. So judgment is just as I was saying. It's about reaping what we sow. Our actions do count. You know, when you stand in front of a judge for speeding, I will give you a clue. Don't say you were following the flow of traffic, because all you're doing is admitting that you were speeding. Don't say everybody else was doing it, because the judge doesn't care. So I have this habit of saying to myself when I'm about ready to do something I know is wrong. So should I go ahead and do a U-turn here? It's like, and then I throw in right after that, Your Honor. You know, if you've ever had to stand in front of a traffic court judge, should I just go ahead and run this red light, Your Honor? I'm in a hurry. I'm going to be late. Should I really be doing 80 miles an hour, Your Honor? Well, that's the judgment card. It's like when you're about to do something you know, and we know, just throw behind there, Your Honor, and see how that would sound in front of the judge when we're caught. And again, instead of doing the 80 miles an hour, leaving 5 minutes early. Which means with temperance and finding that balance, which for me is getting that 8 hours sleep. Getting the anger under control. Because with the Hanged Man, this is where we're looking for patience. This is where we're willing to sacrifice. The Hangman is about acceptance. The Hangman is about sacrifice. I've done this, and this is my life story, Your Honor. I've learned humility from this, one way or the other, and now I need to accept and be willing to sacrifice, which means not getting angry because of the results of my actions. Getting angry because of the results of my actions. That's funny. We get angry when we're caught. But the Hangman is willing to accept the sacrifice. The Hangman is willing to accept the patience because we've finally realized we've gotten to this point that we need to assume responsibility. We need to willingly climb up on this tree even though we have a million other things to do. And so what is the advice card saying today? Some people don't want to let you go past. Yeah. And so the kings are air. Kings are thought. They're political. They're the ones that make decisions. And they have swords. And swords are a heavy suit. Swords are thought. You know, kings are air. You know, King of Swords is heir of air. So here we have it reversed. This is where we have the faulty logic. This is where we try and think our way out of a situation. Oh, some people don't want to let go of the past. Yeah. So what this is pretty much saying is that we need to just assume responsibility for our actions. We need to grow. We need to find that balance. And I mean, just the same way that Odin hung from the tree, Yggdrasil, I think it was called, to gain knowledge, we need, we don't just find temperance on the side of the road. It just doesn't, we don't just pick it up like it's a piece of trash. This is how we do it. And you can't think your way through it. This is not something you think your way through and getting angry and everything else. This really is about going deep. So, today's reading really is asking what's it going to take to go to the next level. I mean, this really is just saying, we're not going to find it in a book. We're not going to find it by getting angry. We're not going to think ourselves out of a wet paper bag. You can't think your way out of a wet paper bag. It's about acceptance and sacrifice and moving forward. Moving forward and being willing to find acceptance and sacrifice. I can say that this reading makes me feel much better and much calmer than after what I was going through, what I was thinking from the night before. Especially to have the 3 majors in a row like this. Wow. I mean, if I go back and I look at the hundreds of videos by this point I've done, I can only think of a few times where I've had 3 majors that just felt like they were this important. So, with that, I hope everybody has an amazing day, an amazing morning, an amazing evening. And hopefully we can find a place where we can just find that acceptance. And it's not sacrifice when we say, yeah, but everybody else is doing it. It'll feel like a sacrifice because it's like, well, everybody else gets to do it. Why can't I? So, thanks again, everybody. And I will be here tomorrow morning again. So take care and have an amazing day, an amazing week. And I will talk to you later. Oh, by the way, I just saw Maureen said, can't the Hanged Man be a change in perspective? It absolutely is. And that's a good traditional point that a lot of people bring up, is the fact that when we see the world from a different perspective. So no, that is absolutely 100% true. By changing that perspective, we will see things differently. And then maybe we won't try and outthink it, and we'll realize, just because everybody else is doing it, blah, 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 judgment, change of perspective will bring the balance, the change in the balance, the change in who we are. So thank you, Maureen. Bye again.